This goes to ladies. Have you ever lost a pregnancy before? This is not the abortion thing now, but you were in desperate need of a child, and you lost the pregnancy. This is the fifth pregnancy Tessie just lost in 2 years, as she screamed hard at the unfortunate incident again. Kelvin, her husband, rushed in and was rendered helpless at the sight of blood dripping from his wife. How many men these days can remain calm in situations like this? Kelvin has been very calm and a supportive husband to his wife and their childlessness. The next day, UK, the housemaid, came to check on her madam and also tell her that food was ready. Tessie has been truly blessed with the most supportive husband and amazing maid, who were always there to comfort her. Nengi, her cousin's sister, also always comes around to check on her. Tessie's worry now is her husband's calm attitude towards her frustrating situation. Nengi trusts Kelvin to be one of the best husbands God created and assured her that her marriage was safe. All she needs is to trust God. The ladies were talking when Kelvin came to greet the ladies. Tessie is indeed one of the luckiest women in the world, as her husband kept showering her with expensive gifts with the loss. She opened it to see an expensive dress they have been searching everywhere for. Kelvin is not just a caring husband, but also pays attention to his wife's needs. Tessie loves her husband and was scared of losing him to another woman because his kind is rare to find. Kelvin always reminded her that it is God that gives children, and since they are still capable of making more babies, the perfect time will come. What can be more encouraging than this from a man to a woman he loves? It's been more than 3 months now. Kelvin came back with a welcoming birthday surprise from his wife and maid. Kelvin forgot that it was his birthday, and it was a day worth celebrating. That night, Tessie brought a gift to her husband. He opened it to find baby wear. This was a sign that she was pregnant again. This time, she believes the baby is here to stay, as she waited for a 3-month mark to be sure that there wouldn't be another miscarriage unlike others before breaking the news to him. This was good news for the family, as they would be welcoming a child. The good news was already everywhere, as Nengi also came to congratulate her. These ladies prayed very hard this time for God's intervention to pass the 3 months mark. At this point, miscarriages rarely happen. Just then, UK came to ask her madam what they will have for dinner. God is really faithful, as Nengi was the happiest person to receive the news. It's 4 months now, as everything was going smoothly. Tessie was at the projection of childbirth when something struck her in her belly. The pain was so intense that she was rushed to the hospital. Perhaps it was time for her to give birth, but she was just 7 months pregnant. The doctor requested to see Kelvin at her office. The doctor confirmed that she is fine, but she wouldn't be discharged yet until a series of scans and tests were conducted. Kelvin came back to find Nengi, who rushed down when she heard the news. He told her the situation of things. He has no option other than to look after his wife until she is discharged. Nengi asked him to go get some rest at home while she took care of her sister. She also asked the maid to get some food for them tomorrow while coming. The following day came as Kevin's number wasn't reachable, neither did he come to check on his wife. The doctor had to pass the message to Nengi that after the result, they found out that the child died inside her womb and immediate evacuation needs to be carried out to prevent damages. Yet, another sad news for the family, as they needed Kelvin consent to carry out the operation. Nengi had to rush down to break the news to her loving husband, as she was dumbfounded by what she saw, the most admired, loving, and caring husband with his maid. Could this be the reason for the nice treatment to his wife, to avoid raising suspicions? Nengi just released the news to him that his wife was in the hospital with a dead child in her stomach, while he was here cheating on her with the maid. Nengi really sympathized with her sister to have thought that she got married to a husband with dignity. Nengi came back to meet her sister in tears. Breaking such horrible news to her would either tear her apart or cause more damage to her condition. so she kept quiet. The most loving husband was already here as they bumped into each other. He wanted to know what his fate holds. At least he is settled for now with Nengi's level of maturity. But for how long will this continue? Even at her present condition, Tessie still pleaded to her husband to forgive her because she thinks she is the problem. But come to think of it, why does she keep having miscarriages even at the 7th month? She needs to rest now before the evacuation process commences, so Kelvin had to leave. Kelvin was about to leave when Nengi stopped him. She wanted to have a word with him concerning the maid. She wants UK out of the house, or she risks telling her sister all that she saw. Kelvin boldly told her that he cannot send the maid out of the house. At this point, most men would start considering other options of having children. He doesn't care if she tells her sister. Nengi promised him to do it herself since he doesn't have the balls to chase the maid away. Nengi came back that morning to do what Kelvin couldn't do, but the temerity in her already showed otherwise, as she told her that only Kelvin has the power to sack her. This is what happens when a maid starts to sleep with the boss. She is ready to give anyone a dose of their own medicine. This came as a big shock to Nengi when Kelvin came out. He heard everything and also told her to focus her energy on taking care of her sister instead of getting into other people's business. Should we say that Tessie is already losing her home too with his decisions? Nengi must tell her sister now before the situation gets out of hand. Nengi came back to the hospital to tell her sister, even at her condition. But she was already in a very critical situation after the evacuation process was completed. The doctor assured her that she will be fine. To Nengi now, this is not the right time to start another drama. Kelvin was already at the hospital to see the doctor. The doctor confirmed that she is fine now and will be discharged tomorrow. She also warned against any form of stress or any news that will make her blood pressure rise. Tessie was finally discharged and brought back home as everything looks normal. The maid who was rude at a time to Nengi is back to her loyal state. Perhaps it's only a matter of time before she displays it to her madam as well. Nengi is here to stay, and this disturbs UK. She wants her boss to let her go because she is already becoming irrelevant to her madam, which may eventually make her lose her job. Kelvin thinks it is a good idea if they must keep their secret love affair. Kelvin told his wife in a more diplomatic way about Nengi. He told her that Nengi's stay here because she wants to take care of her sister may affect her business. Tessie also saw reason with what her husband said and had to tell her sister to go and take care of her business and personal life while she will be fine with the help of the maid. Nengi, on her own side, isn't complaining to stay back and take care of her sister since she has capable hands to run her business for her. Kelvin was eavesdropping when he came in to let her know that she had overstayed her welcome indirectly. To Tessie, it is a good gesture, but to them both, they know that this is not a welcome gesture. After 2 days, Nengi came back to tell her sister that her business was doing fine with the capable hands handling her business, so she didn't mind staying here to take care of her sister. Tessie was very happy to see her sister back as she went inside the kitchen to prepare something for them both to eat. More troubles for Kelvin as she was back. This time he was harsh on his wife for disobeying his orders in his house. Tessie has never seen her husband this angry before, especially when it has to do with Nengi. Tessie was beginning to suspect his sudden hostility. She knows that UK should be aware of everything going on while she was at the hospital. UK almost spilled the truth out, but Tessie was anxious to say what she had been thinking, that Nengi was having an affair with her husband. You must learn to understand that whenever you seek answers, you must be patient enough to get the answers you are looking for, rather than look for the answers yourself, with all curiosity. UK got the opportunity to tell her madam more lies about how her sister seduces her husband in her absence. This was the height of it to Tessie, as she asked her sister to leave her house without listening to what she has to say. Should we say that Nengi made a mistake by not escalating their affair in the first place? What happens to her sister's health if she has gotten such heartbreaking news? Yes, she did the right thing. Let's let karma play its own part. Kelvin came in to find his lovely wife waiting for him. She apologized on her sister's behalf with all her advances. Kelvin also was surprised with how she made her findings, but it was fine by him inasmuch as it was in his favor. Everything was beginning to take a new dimension now as UK came with good news that she is pregnant. I can tell you that no matter how faithful your husband is to you, he will accept any child of his when you're unable to give him one. Tessie also got a call from the doctor about something very important. Tessie happens to be a curious kind, as she told the doctor to tell her over the phone. The doctor confirmed an overdose of misoprostol in her system. This means that she has been taking abortion pills all these while. Tessie was trying to figure all these out when some thoughts came into her. What could that be? You know the feelings that come with being pregnant for a rich man. UK was eager to step up from a maid to a madam also, as she was also meant to taste good life like every other lady out there. Tessie came in to find her in a dress her husband bought for her that she hadn't even worn. She removed the wig when UK almost retaliated to fight her madam. Do you know that Kelvin was around while UK did all these? As a woman, you must be careful with the kind of woman you bring into your home. Kelvin was already defending the maid that all these were irrelevant until something happened in her presence. A man will first always look out for the womb that carries his child as he follows her to know if she was fine. At this point, I can tell you that most women have already lost their homes. Tessie could not stand the sight of the disrespect as she ran out of the house. Nengi welcomed her without feeling that her sister mistreated her. Tessie told her everything the doctor said. Now they are convinced that UK was behind her misfortunes. Tessie already made up her mind not to go back if not that she was pregnant again for the 7th time. You know men and their ego, even though he offended her. He just sat there waiting for her return. He apologized to his wife as she walked out on him. But let's be realistic here. Should we blame this man? The good thing is that Kelvin was remorseful, unlike some other men. He confessed that he did all these because of his desperation for a child. Tessie told him that the reason why she is here is because she is pregnant. Kelvin, at a time, was the courage behind her strength, but now he had already given up because he found hope somewhere else. He advised her that it's better that they take a break for the pregnancy saga. Nengi also came in as the ladies convinced him that UK is responsible for all her miscarriages. The ladies had proof from the doctor. Kelvin wanted to be sure, as he called the doctor. The doctor confirmed that it was true. This lady was also carrying his child, even though he was very angry. He tried as much as possible to remain cool. He wants her to join them for breakfast as one big family. Tessie and Nengi were surprised with his nice treatment on UK, even when he is aware that she is the reason behind their childlessness. He insisted that UK joins them to eat. Not only that, he asked the ladies to serve UK as a queen. The ladies were not happy with what was happening, but they also couldn't say a word. Nengi was about to sip her tea when Kelvin stopped her. He asked UK to take hers first. UK was restless with the nice treatment until Kelvin raised his voice at her to take the tea. UK was not only a desperate lady but devilish. She poisoned the water for the tea just to kill Tessie, Nengi, and the father of her unborn child. UK denied it, but there was already evidence for proof. Kelvin showed his wife the camera he kept in the kitchen to keep an eye on her until she did this to kill everyone. She was about to run when she found out that the door was locked. Kelvin already planned all these with the keys in his hands, he swore, to make sure that she rotted in jail. They say that there are 1,000 days for the thief, but 1 day is enough to count your losses. Be careful who you bring to your home as a woman. Tessie was lucky doesn't mean that you will be lucky because she would have lost her womb with the countless abortion, or she would have lost her husband, or perhaps everyone could have died.
Thanks for watching. Please comment your thoughts and also like and share this video for more super amazing videos that we are bringing to you. And if you're watching from our YouTube channel, you can also subscribe and turn on your notification for more. Thank you.